Welcome to the news. Now our first story. The majority of Ghanaian workers may not show up for work starting October 10, 2024. And here's why. The organized labor has declared a nationwide strike. The group explains its decision is driven by the failure of government to meet its ultimatum of halting all forms of mining in forest reserves across the country. TUC, a couple of days, tabled 3 demands, including the immediate evacuation of all mining equipment in forest reserves and around water bodies. They also asked for the deployment of the police and the military with full orders to remove or destroy all mining equipment and other equipment. However, after a week, organized labor says the government has failed to act and has therefore resolved to withdraw their services. That is effective October 10, 2024. Blessed Soga has the rest of the story.
As activities of illegal mining continue to ravage major river bodies in Ghana, the Trades Union Congress says it is unhappy with government's failure to crack down on illegal mining. As a result, worker unions under the umbrella body have resolved to lay down their tools effective October 10.
Organized labor met at an emergency meeting today, October 1st, 2024. Following the expiration of our deadline and the failure of government to meet our demands on illegal mining, that is galamsey, organized labor has decided to declare a nationwide strike with effect from October 10th, 2024.
In an earlier release to the press, organized labor tabled 3 demands, including, quote, an immediate declaration of a state of emergency in line with provisions of the 1992 Constitution, and also the need to halt all forms of mining, legal or illegal, in forest reserves around water bodies. It is unclear if government will yield to the demands of the group, but it is likely that workers may remain at home until their concerns are resolved. Let us go for Joy News.
Well, now the opposition NDC is left standing alone with only the Progressive People's Party backing its call for a forensic audit of the voters' register and IT system of the Electoral Commission. 8 registered political parties, including the governing MPP, have all been giving a thumbs up to the EC after it announced measures it had taken to resolve some discrepancies in the voters' register ahead of the crucial 2024 election. It will be recalled that following the admission by the EC that its officers had illegally transferred voters in Pusiga, the NDC claimed to have identified even more discrepancies to anchor their demand for a forensic audit. In a historic IPAC meeting broadcast live, the EC announced a raft of measures it had taken up to clean the register. Kweku Asante of our Political Affairs Desk reports.
Dr. Yao Forieje, Director of IT at the Electoral Commission, isolated the specific allegations and claims that have been made against the Electoral Commission by the NDC and responded to them separately. According to him, the Electoral Commission has specifically dealt with all the challenges that the NDC raised, and in particular, some of them are just spurious.
In our minds, we can't see how you can delete somebody by transferring them, because transfers are allowed. So you can't delete somebody by transferring them. I also like to say that the way the voter management system is designed, and indeed ABIS, once you get registered onto the system, we went on further and looked at the transaction history of the particular voter within our database. By 2020, at 10:19 a.m., at the True Vine Preparatory School, JHS, near Boyman, with polling station number C150704. This gentleman, on the 22nd of October 2020, at 4:35 p.m., registered for special voting and was moved to the Achimota College Police Station, C1502 SPS. That is a special polling station that he registered for.
But the NDC came in forcefully, according to Dr. Eduardo Manebuama, who is the NDC's Director of Elections and IT. The Electoral Commission has simply shown itself not trustworthy enough.
When your roof is leaking, you can decide to mop, keep mopping and keep mopping. Or you can decide to fix the leakage and mop. What we see here is mopping and mopping and mopping. Fixing the leakage is missing. This forensic audit is not just about the register. When you have fixed the register, and I will demonstrate to you how, as a result of our revelations, some aftermath fixing is providing a semblance of we are fixing it. When you fix it, and we all look at the hard copies, and we are all giving the PVR, the soft copies. In November, if the very criminals that got us here are still there, engaged in illegal transfers, we will come back to square one.
The New Patriotic Party, represented by the General Secretary, a former national chairman, and the Director of Elections, all had their bite. But the substantive argument that was made by the NPP was that they raised similar issues in 2015. The NDC did not support them. And in fact, they've also gone through these claims that have been made by the NDC, and they have simply no legs to stand on.
It's not a question about having a leaking roof and mopping your floor. It's about the data, what you presented to the Electoral Commission. The whole people of Ghana want to see it. And that is the comment APC made. That even the request for forensic audit is needless at this point, because we are yet to see those allegations that you are talking about. And the Electoral Commission has said that they are going to furnish us with the cleanup that they have done. So, Madam Chair, we also want to know from you when we can have the revised exercise that you have done, so that we can also have another look. It is afterward that if there is a need for us to convey again, then the issues that you are talking about, we can even think about or even consider.
Some of the political parties did support the NDC's call for a forensic audit, others did not.
I feel that an independent audit will rather boost the credibility and image of the voter register. Because just imagine if an independent auditor comes and says, well, the register is 100% clean. That one, it is not the EC saying it. Because what Dr. Ufori said, I mean, the presentation is nice, but it is the EC speaking.
So in auditing, this will be classified as immaterial. So no auditor will spend time to work on that because it's immaterial.
There's no problem asking for a forensic audit. But the problem here is that we are only holding a provisional voter register. And that allows for correction and allows for updates.
I don't know what it is.
Electoral Commission Chairperson Madam Jean Mensah has been assuring that the Commission will always keep transparency as its watchdog and ensure that in the lead up to the 2024 general election, there will be enough for persons to know that the Electoral Commission is trustworthy.
The Commission felt that it was in our interest to demystify the Commission and to remove the cloaks of secrecy that had hitherto shrouded our operations. And so today, from A to Z, from registration to the declaration of results, all our processes are open to the public. And that is the beauty of our democracy.
She has also been announcing that in the coming days, the Electoral Commission will allow journalists in to witness and record IPAC proceedings.
As part of the Commission's efforts to ensure transparency and accountability in all its processes, we have decided that this meeting and all subsequent IPAC meetings will be covered by the media.
As we know now, the NDC is scheduled to have some high-level meetings to decide on their next line of action. The NDC says it is keeping all its cards on the table, and this will include protest. According to Dr. Doromani Boama, the Electoral Commission's word cannot be taken for it, and that is why they are going to have a meeting and decide whether or not this call for a forensic audit will be modified, as the Electoral Commission and others have been calling, or they will keep at it with barely 60 days to the 2024 general election. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Alisa Hotel, Accra.
And some interesting scenes there from that IPAD gathering. But on to our next story. NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has pledged to establish agricultural mechanization centers in every district across the country to boost farmers' productivity. Speaking during his campaign tour of the Sifiri traditional area, Dr. Bawumia compared these proposed centers to the DRIP project introduced by the Akufo-Addo administration.
Said FDA every district biano. Sana me be for agricultural equipment. Every district here benya district agri mechanization center. Not tractors, every equipment, every district yedi beboa ikiafo.
Well, he also highlighted the medical drone delivery service initiated by the MPP government, emphasizing that Ghana remains the global leader in this technology.
We set up 6 medical drone delivery centers for Ghana. Bako was also Eddie Mojane a drone because Oko Ifomana will walk Kawa, Uhia anti-snake serum immediately. Drone no bit me adiafa abreo na saa ihihye no yede aba no amagana sese wiase nyina yekofa free America baha, but wiase nyina the whole world, Ghana is the leading medical drone delivery service in the whole world.
Let's talk health now. And the Ghana Health Service in the northern region is aiming at immunizing over 400,000 children in this year's mass measles rubella vaccination and vitamin A supplementation campaign. According to the service, the Ghana Demographic and Health Surveys for 2022 and 2023 indicate coverage of 56.5% and 76.9% respectively, which falls significantly short of the 95% target required to achieve measles elimination. Therefore, this year's mass vaccination exercise includes an effective strategy to reach children who have been missed by routine services. There's more in this report.
The objective of the immunization is to reduce measles and rubella morbidity by preventing new cases and associated complications, improve access to measles and rubella vaccination service for all children, especially those in underserved communities and high-risk districts. Addressing the media at the Northern Regional Launch, the Northern Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Abdullahi Abukari, said elimination of measles is possible if population immunity is kept at more than 95% coverage over long periods through routine immunization.
Vaccination coverage has stagnated for some time now. More than 10% of our children are enriched with immunization services. Therefore, continued efforts are required to fully protect all our children from vaccine-preventable diseases. In order to achieve measles elimination, 2 doses of measles rubella vaccine are needed. And we, as Ghana Health Service, with a mandate to provide primary health care, are expected to cover about 95% of routine coverage with 2 doses of measles rubella vaccine.
He said the northern region is also set to roll out its malaria immunization across the 16 districts of the region.
Fortunately for us as a region, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, with support from partners, is rolling out malaria vaccine into our routine immunization schedule in selected regions of which northern region is part. So let me alert all of us, especially caregivers, that the northern region is also rolling out malaria vaccine into our routine immunization from today, the 1st of October 2024. It is interested to give you information to let you know that Ghana piloted the malaria vaccine implementation program alongside other African countries such as Kenya and Malawi. That is from 2019 to 2023. The objectives of the pilot were to assess the feasibility of administering the recommended 4 doses of vaccine in children, the safety of the vaccine in the context of routine use, and the vaccine's potential role in reducing childhood mortality.
Now, the spokesperson of the National Democratic Congress and representative of the party's flag bearer, John Mahama, at the University Teachers Association of Ghana Dialogue Series, Professor George K.T. Oduro, has lashed out at the New Patriotic Party for the hurried and reckless manner they handled the education sector, which has resulted in serious distortions in the sector. He penciled acute infrastructural deficits, erratic academic calendar, inadequate investments on the professional needs of teachers, delayed payment of food suppliers as some of the fundamental operational challenges inhibiting education in the country. Now, Professor George K.T. Oduro made the statement at the UTAG Political Parties Dialogue Series at Drapa, promising to change the tide should the NDC win the December polls. Joy News Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Drapa.
The University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, provides a platform for political parties, groupings to share their vision and policy proposals on critical national issues, including education, economy, inclusive governance, energy, and the environment. The engagement between the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC) and UTAG is therefore to understand what the former will do should they be voted into power. The engagement also affords members of UTAG the opportunity to ask questions pertaining to the party's policy proposals. National President of UTAG, Professor Mamadou A. Akudugu, set the tone for the engagement.
See this as a friendly engagement that we believe will help shape the policy frameworks that you want to implement when given the opportunity by Ghanaians to lead us from January 7, 2025. We have already shared with you some of the areas we believe we needed to have these conversations on. There are some general areas that affect almost everybody, and there are specific areas that affect the academic community that we want answers as to how you want to address them for us.
Professor George K.T. Oduro, who is the representative of John Dramani Mahama and the NDC party spokesperson on education, drew the first blood, lashing out at the governing New Patriotic Party (NPP) for the hurried and harem-scarum manner they handle the education sector, which has resulted in severe distortions.
Acute infrastructural deficit, an erratic academic calendar, inconsistent curricula, inadequate investment in the professional needs of teachers, delayed payment of food suppliers to schools, indiscipline, poor industrial relations leading to prolonged and unresolved strikes, inadequate teaching and learning materials, over 5,000 basic schools still operating under trees.
Now, a record-breaking 157 schools are gearing up for academic supremacy as the 2024 National Science and Math Quiz heads to the Central Region, Ghana's citadel of education, for the first time in its 31-year history. During the launch of this year's edition, Managing Director of Primetime Limited, Nanekia Mensah-Bonsu, revealed that the competition would see its largest participation ever. My colleague Jacqueline Ansuma has more in the following report.
Today's contest is like Kingdom Filipino Fighter.
For over 3 decades, the National Science and Math Quiz has earned its place as a beacon of educational excellence in Ghana, producing some of the nation's sharpest minds. Each year, the competition ignites fierce rivalry and showcases the best of high school intellectual talent. But this year, the stakes are higher than ever. During the launch of this year's edition, Managing Director of Primetime Limited, Nanekia Mensah-Bonsu, revealed that this year's contest will see the highest number of participating schools ever,
We started the regional qualifiers in, we did May, June, and July. That's when we had our qualifiers and our championships. Yeah. And then we have some new schools that have qualified this year.
What are those new schools?
Umase, Sirigu, Presby, SHS Bompata, and I think Kufieje and Sewa Nyaku girls. So we are saying hello to them for the first time. We have 8 private schools also participating. So this year we have the largest number that we've ever had at the National Championship. Wow. 157 schools at the National Championship.
Reigning champions, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, are back to defend their crown. Confident and battle-ready, Presec is eager to prove once again that they are the team to beat in this year's contest.
Confident that the Lord is going to take us to. Yes, please.
You sure this year you're taking the championship once again?
Yes.
Are you sure this year? What are we expecting from you guys?
I suggest that you expect the best because there's a God that we serve and we know that He will not disappoint us. We know that He will not fail us. He has given us a victory, not once, but twice, and we are believing that this will be the 3rd time He will give us the victory.
For Presec, you always prepare for this competition. I hope you get it. And the issue is that we really serve a nice God. As you know, this year we are going to take our 9th trophy.
With 42 contests set to take place in the preliminary stage on 14th October, it's shaping up to be a thrilling showdown of wit, knowledge, and strategy. Which school will rise to the top? For Joy News, I am Jacqueline Ansama Yabora.
Well, let's settle for our business updates up next. In our first story, government has started rolling out a fresh set of measures to compensate farmers affected by the recent dry spell that hit parts of the country. Some of them include access to credit, farm inputs, and an effective grain supply system for farmers. Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Brian Champong, disclosed this during a media engagement yesterday.
We have this morning commenced the distribution of 118,000 metric tons of fertilizers and 5,133 metric tons of seeds to 800,000 smallholder farmers nationwide. The idea is to supply these inputs to farmers in the southern sector and the northern sector because the raining season or the planting season for the southern sector just about started. The savannah and the transition, they are due for the application of urea because they planted a couple of weeks ago. So 118,000 metric tons of fertilizers and 5,133 metric tons of seeds will be supplied to 800,000 smallholder farmers nationwide. That is farmers cropping 2 acres and farmers cropping under 2 acres. Every farmer will receive 2 bags of NPK and 1 bag of urea and the corresponding maize or rice seed.
In a bid to attract the African diaspora back to its roots, Ghana is rolling out the red carpet with a Ghana Diaspora Home Purchase Expo 2024. This groundbreaking initiative, which is a collaboration between HTS Construction and the Ghana Tourism Authority, aims at welcoming diasporans home, offering a unique opportunity to invest in Ghana's thriving real estate market. Lawyer Osei Wusu is the director of HTS Construction.
The event being organized in December 2024, precisely on the 13th, is the Ghana Diaspora Home Purchase Expo. And the platform is to matchmake and give the opportunity for real estate developers and real estate purchasers to come together and transact. The idea is to avail the opportunity for all the beautiful developments, beautiful units that are coming up in Accra and elsewhere in Ghana, to avail this opportunity to our friends and brothers in the diaspora to purchase the property. We are indicating that the hotel prices, lodgement fee, is quite expensive. If you compare Ghana to elsewhere in the sub-region and worldwide, our hotel prices are very, very expensive. So the opportunity to run Airbnb or private home rentals for short stay, medium stay, long stay is a good opportunity for investors, and also even for income generation, and not only for investors in the real estate industry, but also people who are passive investors. We are encouraging professionals, doctors, accountants, teachers, engineers, etc., to also use this opportunity to own property. Whilst they own the property and they are not resident in Ghana, whilst they are away to their base, those units will be available.
Well, to cap it all off, we give you our currency market for today. And that's how we conclude the news all together. But stay with us. Up next, we'll be joined by Dr. Kwame Asante. He's political scientist and director of the Center for European Studies. He joins me for the news review. We'll be back.